Shadow Coast here, and welcome to a new video series. We are kicking off our Total War Warhammer 2 Malus Darkblade Legendary Vortex campaign. Yes, the new DLC is out, and we are jumping in. Now, a few items to note off the bat. We are playing on Legendary, so I cannot load save games. We are playing in Iron Man mode. This is not the same as very hard. Furthermore, on Legendary, we do have -8 to public order rather than -4. That is hugely impactful because we will have to dedicate some buildings to increase public order unless we'll constantly be fighting off rebellions, which will get exhausting and time consuming. Grief. What is Malus packing? So, climate, mountain, jungle. Malus is possessed by the daemon Tarkan, who is controlled with the use of elixirs. We'll talk about that as we go along. Tarkan's whispers. The daemon influences Malus to commit acts of slaughter and cruelty. I believe we can gain rewards if we do those campaign or objectives. Military alliance with Nagaron. Yes, we are beholden to Malekith, and that will impact a lot of our campaign. We do have plus 30% for iron mines, gold mines, marble quarries. So as we come across them, we're going to want to prioritize them and build it. And we do have recruitment costs reduction for cavalry units, as well as minus 50% upkeep for cavalry units. We do start with three very impressive units. We have Cold One Knights, Armored and Shielded, Armor Piercing, Anti-Large. Yes, these are awesome cavalry. The only downside is I'm not very good with cavalry, so I will have to push myself if I want to make sure that this is a video series of any given length. We also have the new unit, the Scourge Runner Chariot, Armor Piercing Missiles, Anti-Large, very fast. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is one of the new ones. Looks awesome. We will put it to good use. It'll help us kite around units, impact infantry, as well as take down enemy lords and heroes. Finally, we have the Blood Rack Medusa. Note this is a 1 unit count, so we have to make sure that we properly position her and she doesn't get caught. She does have armor piercing, anti-infantry, decent melee combatant, and causes terror. So we're going to probably focus her on helping us also take down enemy lords and heroes. So we're going to jump in. This will be a fast start campaign, and you're going to see what I mean by that. We're going to skip the intro. Effectively, we're going to get in. We are only going to fight battles we need to fight. So if we can auto-resolve or we're confident we're going to win and not lose any key units, we're going to auto-resolve it and then only focus on the key battles where we're going to have to use some human brain power to overcome the AI and prevent it from cheesing us. All right, we're going to skip all this good stuff. Um, right, real quick, how they play. So Slaves and Black Arcs are the same. For Malice, Possession and Tarkan's Whispers. Bound as one, Tarkan's possessive power constantly saps at Malice's mind, manifesting itself as a powerful demonic form in battle when fully possessed, while all those around him suffer in fear of the drinker worlds. Tarkan's influence can be thwarted by regularly taking elixirs to suppress his ever-advancing possession, but succumbing to his whispers of murder, carnage, and war can bring great rewards at the cost of Malice ceding more control to the daemon. So effectively what will happen is up here we have a few things going on. So number one, we can purchase elixirs to bring us out of Tarkan's possession into full control of Malus. So moving towards full control, we gain increasing bonuses for our lords to gain loyalty, massive reduction in construction costs in full control of minus 50%. Public order plus 10%, plus 10. We also unlock the right of the War Master, but we do suffer from not being able to use a Tarkan ability, as well as melee attacks are minus 10 for all units. Now, the right of the War Master, very potent ability. I haven't been able to get far enough. I ran 2 very short test campaigns just to learn. But effectively, if we have the right of the War Master, we do receive an army of monsters, which are really badass, but also very expensive. Now we also have the gift to the Witch King, so we can use slaves to recruit heroes as we move around the map. That'll be super critical. Obviously, we have our classic sacrifice to Malanth. We're going to want to make sure that we have black arcs, and you're going to see why here in a little bit. And then we have our standard sacrifice of Cain. All right, so we saw what happens when we're in full control. As we cede power, what ends up happening is we not only have the ability to use the summon Tarkan on the battlefield ability. Basically, he becomes this super badass unit. He has massive war. We also get massive ward save for Malus, so we basically make him a super tanky uh, hero on the field that can absorb damage and lay down a beating. Disadvantage, our lords could become disloyal, and we have negative 50% casualty replenishment rate. Effectively, no casualty replenishment. So right now, we're able to summon Tarkan. If we pop an elixir, we can obviously move it. Move into more control, but then we lose that ability. We're gonna leave it as is, see how far we can get. We do start with Malinar. He is a melee hero, effectively. He has a nice little tree up here, which we're gonna take advantage of. We are gonna give him the Dark Pegasus. You can see over to the left, we basically buff speed and gain a massive charge bonus while not losing on any armor. The only thing we do lose is our shield, but that will come later. I'm going to kind of forget about these other steeds and keep them on the ground until we get the Dark Pegasus. And then we're going to upgrade his main tree and then grab these as we level up because they are going to be very powerful. We're going to throw him in with Malus. Now, Malus is the star of the show. We have our classic blue tree, red tree. I think this is what, the yellow tree or whatever. All very standard. This is these two top ones are going to be the key or differentiator for Malus. He has abilities that reduce cooldowns of his abilities. He has increased missile and melee defense uh, while transform as Tarkan. So you're going to see a lot of these are impactful as Tarkan as we transform Avatar Terror, which will be very important. So this tree, and this one is really important right here, right? Supernatural tissue helps offset some of the massive negative bonus of casualty replenishment. We're going to need to balance unleashing the demon and keeping Malus sane because they have massive implications either route. And then over here we have a few extra points. We're going to want to grab all three of these. Cold Heart, campaign rage, reduction to attrition, and vigor loss reduction for our cavalry. This one gives us a chance if we have another hero, a lord close to us, to stay loyal, public order, and upkeep, which is really why we want it. And then I love this one, contempt and hatred, weapon strength plus 20% when fighting against anything and everything. Up here, we are going to want to grab Spite, who is the mount. You can see here he gives us some great buffs, so it's only on the up and up. The big challenge is we lose our ability to transform into Tarkan, so when we throw him on the mount, we might take him off if we want to pop Tarkan's ability on the battlefield, and then we're going to be filling in points as we go. We're going to grab Route Marcher, Dreaded Slaver, work our way up to Quartermaster, Renowned and Feared, but as we go, we're going to be pulling in different talents from up here as we increase. I will eventually, towards the end, hit some of the red tree. I think I'm going to avoid that for now, and I'll explain why in a little bit. So without further ado, let's jump in. We are doing a fast start campaign, but I am doing a lot of talking. So we're not actually going to fight a battle here. We're going to maintain a blockade and come in, and we're going to auto-resolve. We're going to lose a unit, but that's okay. And we're going to occupy. So the first thing is we're not only knocking off a mission, but we're triggering hostile takeover. This is a big decision, guys, because this is going to impact your campaign. The wealthiest dreadlord of Hagrief sends you a large sum to bribe you into giving up your Druki position. The money would certainly be useful and boost your treasury considerably, as it is currently almost empty. Once the mission for Malekith is complete, taking back what is yours should not pose much of a problem. However, the mines of Hagrief could keep the expedition running for some time yet. So effectively, we get New Frontier growth plus 50, which is super nice for 5 terms if we move quickly and secure this region. Or we can exile its filth and maintain our foothold in Hagrief. We're going to do exiles this filth and do a split duel campaign. Alright, so we have that. Next, do your research. Because I am not putting too many points into the red tree, I'm going to do it through research. So I'm going to prioritize research that's going to increase leadership, defense, stuff like that to my troops because I'm not covering it off in my main army. That's just my approach. Real quick for the Black Arc, we're going to upgrade from a small Black Arc to a regular Black Arc. That's going to not only give us additional upkeep reduction, but some other bonuses immediately. Because we're not going to gain any replenishment, we're going to throw all of this army into the Black Arc. Look at that, guys. Boom. I just doubled the income that I'm going to make per turn. So make sure that you're keeping your units in the Black Arc as necessary. Quite frankly, I'm going to do a little bit of combining just to optimize our the cost here. We're gonna also recruit a few units there. Now Malus is in a local area, so he can also recruit. So as I think about this, we're actually going to recruit 2 Black Ark Corsairs because the town here, so you do want to be recruiting guys, will allow us to recruit 3 local ones. So we're increasing it, but because I put everyone in the Black Ark, like I said, the Black Ark has that minus 52% for all upkeep. That is super critical. We're going to swing over to Hagrief, which we decided to keep. One key thing to note here is I guess we upgraded to the Dark Crag. This is super integral, minus 60% upkeep for all units in local province. So effectively, we want to make sure we maintain our army in the Black Flood province. We're going to move and try to grab Temple of Cain, Storig Core, and really build out our economy and army because we might have to take some action. We're not going to worry about recruiting right now. We're going to bring him to the edge. So in the next turn, he can hit Temple of Cain. As we go, we are going to search ruins before we colonize because we are looking for Scrolls of Akarti. So effectively here, after we deliver all these scroll shipments to Malekith, he will give us the formula to the elixir so we don't have to keep buying it. Every time we buy it, it goes up. So that's something that we want to keep in mind. Nothing to do here. Before you end your turn, diplomacy, diplomacy, diplomacy. If you guys look, you are deteriorating right off the bat with everybody. So make sure that you do diplomacy early and you look at it often. See if you can sign non-aggression pacts. If you can sign, more importantly, trade agreements to keep your economy rocking and rolling because you do have that upkeep cost. Nagaron is basically our master. So you can see here off the bat, I signed some uh, uh, assigned some non-aggression pacts. Looks like we're on the up and up with Harganeth. Hopefully we can soon sign trade agreements. If you look at the Dark Crag, even here we are producing marble and iron to trade. Alright, so that concludes the first turn. We're moving quick. I'm talking fast. But like I said, this is very much, let's knock this out really quickly. Our next move here, I think we've gone through our progression. Real quick objectives. We want to fight the final battle, Rise of Darkness. And we want to start the turn with 1500 Scrolls of Akarti to provide the final delivery to Malekith. We do have 2 missions here. We have to use the elixir. I'm going to hold off on that for a few turns and cleanse the stain. Maintain control of 1 province, either by direct ownership or through vassal. So we're going to work through to obtain a province. The first province we're going for is the Sea of the Dread, and we're going to try to knock out Tora Lasor as a faction. So over here, we're going to watch Malekith kick some butt. He's taking on those clan rats. Alright. Let's speed this up. He just knocked them all out. He's pretty aggressive. In the test campaign, he was just like going for it. Mad respect, bro. Alright, we're gonna knock or take our Dread Black Ark out and head over here. And instead of battling, we're gonna maintain a blockade. And we're going to start heading here.
Slaughter them all. Bring an inferno.
And
for the hag.
I'm pretty sure we're just gonna
rise up, warriors.
Auto resolve. So we lost some units, but again, fast start. We didn't lose any important units.
Yes.
Here we do want to expand up so we can start recruiting additional units. We're doing some maintenance here. Because we're not healing, we're fine kicking this guy out. These guys we're more concerned about keeping on the up and up. The other reason that we are upgrading we are going to prioritize growth, so we are going to grab the Dark Elf Manors and upgrade this because each one I think is only 1. And we're going to prioritize our tree here. The reason we're doing this is our recruitment capacity increases as we upgrade our Black Ark. We are going to spend a lot of time recruiting and combining units because that's just the way it works. So we're going to do this. We're going to throw these units in here because their upkeep is lower. Going to fill out this line as we go. And Malekith can still recruit locally, which we want to do. And we're going to grab 3 so we maintain an army. Let's not forget about Pardek here. He's going to come over here. And like I said, he's going to search ruins. Oh man, I got to think about this one. Let me think. I think it is... hold on. Boom. I think. Alright, sort of. Okay, so we got a sword, but we did not get anything useful. You can see we don't have the bonus. We're going to go Route Marcher on Malus. We're going to fill out the blue tree and then grab this stuff as we unlock it. So I'm going to speed through, watch. Well, I guess Malekith, he's just going to raid. Thought he was going to go grab it. Guess his strategy is different this turn. Alright. So we're going to call this an episode. This is the Fast Start Legendary Vortex campaign as Malus Darkblade. Thanks for watching. Throw me a thumbs up if you like what you see. And catch up in the next episode. Shadow Coast out.